everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I talked about it in my first question and answer video and said I'd talk about it another day because it's like too long of a topic to explain in that video. So I thought I would talk about it today. And it's something I've talked about on my Instagram stories before briefly and mentioned, and I also always tell everyone how my drawings are always freehand, so I thought I would explain why I'm not a fan of the app. And also, this is completely my opinion, so if you get offended, please don't. Like, everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. This is just mine, so if you disagree, I would suggest stop watching, or if it's gonna make you frustrated, like, just stop watching because you can control the content you watch. So why I don't like this app, or any app like it. And I use Procreate, so that's my favorite app because you can do freehand in that. Like, there's no app generating, like nothing generates my artwork. I do every single line like I was drawing on paper. Amazing Graph, it like you draw one line and the app generates the other 6 lines of your drawing. But art is not supposed to be perfect, and it's also an art. So like at the end of the day, when you finish your drawing, you want to be proud of your drawing. And it's a sense of accomplishment, like, oh, I drew that, that's my talent. When you finish an app, like a drawing with Amazing Graph, you drew like half the drawing, but the other half was generated by the app, so technically that's the app's art. Basically why I'm not a fan of it, because I don't let the app pretty much draws for you, and people are like saying that this is their artwork. Like, it's fun to play around with the app. So if I go into the app to show you an example of what I mean, it's hard because there's a glare, I think, yeah. But there's like lines here. And if I draw one line, it draws the other lines for you. So all I have to do is draw one line and my mandala is drawn. Why are you gonna let an app make your art for you? I wouldn't want anyone to make my art for me. So that's why I always say how my artwork is always freehand, because it is. And everything is literally freehand. And whenever anyone asks what app I use, I say Procreate, because that's the truth, but also I always give a big explanation, like, oh, Procreate's just like drawing on paper. Like, I literally go into the app, I select another, like a blank piece of paper like this, like just a blank piece of paper, and it's literally like drawing on paper. You can sketch on the app, you can ink, just like drawing on paper. And I think people have a misunderstanding of digital art. Like, when you hear digital art, some people think all art is generated by the computer. No, like, yeah, there's people that do generate their art by the computer, like Amazing Graph, but there's also apps. The biggest app is Procreate, and that's all free-handed stuff. Like, it doesn't generate your artwork. So I think that's the biggest misunderstanding of digital art, is like, oh, you're digital art, so your art's really not yours. Well, actually, like, all mine, I do a lot of digital art, but it's all free-handed. I don't use Amazing Graph. Also, I just want to put in here is that I realized that Procreate, there's a setting on there that can generate the app. Like, if you go under, I think, Canvas settings or whatever, you can select to have the app generate your artwork for you. So I realized there's a setting like that, but Procreate's like initial setting is not any of that. So that's why I like Procreate, because it is free-handed unless you set it towards doing your artwork for you. So Procreate, that's like a setting you can have on it, but it doesn't like automatically go to that setting. And I never set my artwork with that setting. Like, I never turn on that feature. It's always freehand, nothing like that. I never turn on that setting or anything. You just open apps like Amazing Graph, and right away on there, it's already like set up for you to have your artwork generated for you. So that's why I'm using Amazing Graph as a specific example, but it's any app like Amazing Graph that I'm just not a fan of. I just don't know any others out there, you know. But I like Procreate because it's all free-handed, and if you choose to put it on that setting, then it can operate like Amazing Graph too, but you know, you choose, and I just leave it freehand. I hope that you liked that video. It's probably short and sweet, but it gives an explanation of why I don't like Amazing Graph. But again, it's my opinion. I just am not a fan of it, and all my artwork is freehand, and I never rely on an app generating my artwork. I think I try to show you guys that by showing that I can draw just as well on paper. So it's not like if I move from iPad to paper that I'm not going to be able to draw on paper because my iPad generates my art. No, because I draw the same way I do on my iPad, the same way I draw on paper. So I draw just as well either way. I'm like not perfect, and that's what art is about. It's not supposed to be perfect, and there's always room for improvement. Someone told me this when I was younger, that even if you're good at art, there's always going to be someone better, and there's always going to be someone worse. And even if you're that worst person, there's always someone worse than you. So like, there's no one is the best, because there's always room for improvement. You can always learn in art, which is kind of interesting to me. So I hope you guys liked that video, and thanks for watching. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe. Thanks guys, bye.